Have you ever wondered what happens when the part of you that you've spent your whole life avoiding finally speaks? The part you silence with distractions, with busyness, with smiles that never reach your eyes. The part that keeps whispering when you're alone. Do you remember me? That is your shadow. And tonight, it's no longer whispering, it's screaming. They say that meeting your twin flame is like looking into a mirror that doesn't just show your beauty, but also every scar you've ever tried to hide. At first, it feels divine, the connection, the recognition, the magnetic pull. But soon the mirror turns dark. You start to see pieces of yourself you didn't know existed: jealousy, fear, anger, shame. And it terrifies you, because suddenly, they, your twin flame, have become the trigger for every buried wound you thought you'd already healed. Narration. Shadow work begins here, in the silence after the storm, in that fragile space, between pain and awareness, between wanting to blame them and realizing the real battle is within. The birth of the shadow. No one is born with a shadow. We create it moment by moment, memory by memory. Every time someone told us, "Don't cry, don't be weak, don't be too much." Every time love was conditional, based on obedience, success, or perfection. Every time we were hurt, but had nowhere safe to place that pain. So we buried it. We learned to smile when we wanted to scream. We learned to act strong when all we wanted was to be held. And the parts of us that didn't fit, the anger, the sadness, the fear, were pushed into the dark. But here's the truth no one tells you. The parts you reject don't disappear. They wait, patiently. They become your shadow self, the version of you that carries everything you don't want to face. And one day, when the timing is divine, someone enters your life and holds up a mirror so bright that every hidden piece of you starts to rise. That mirror is your twin flame. The mirror begins to speak. First, it feels like magic. You see yourself in them, your hopes, your laughter, your dreams. But then something shifts. They pull away. They say something that cuts deeper than it should. They ignore you when you need them the most. And suddenly your shadow rises. It says, "See? You're not lovable. You're being abandoned again. They'll leave just like everyone else." Your mind says it's their fault. But your soul knows, this pain was never born from this moment. It's ancient. It's yours. The twin flame trigger. Twin flame connections are not here to comfort you. They are here to awaken you. They press every hidden button you've built around your heart. They bring the storm so that you can finally see what's been living in your silence. When your twin flame disappears, the shadow says, "You're unworthy." When they choose someone else, it screams, "You're replaceable." When they stay distant, it whispers, "You don't matter." But what if, just what if, these are not punishments? What if they are invitations? Invitations to finally face the parts of yourself that have been begging to be loved. Soft piano melody swells. The narrator's tone turns gentle, compassionate. Because shadow work isn't about fighting your darkness. It's about listening to it. The anger, the jealousy, the fear, they are not enemies. They are messengers. They say, something inside you still hurts. Something inside you still wants to be seen. When the darkness speaks, if you could sit face to face with your shadow right now, what would it say? Maybe it would tell you about the time you were left alone in your room, crying until you fell asleep. Maybe it would remind you of the first time someone said you were too much or not enough. Maybe it would whisper about the love you gave that was never returned. It would say, "I've been here all along waiting for you to notice me. I became the voice in your head because you wouldn't listen to me in your heart." And you'd realize, the darkness was never your enemy. It was the part of you that carried the pain so that you could survive. The choice to listen. When the darkness speaks, you have two choices. You can silence it again, drown it in noise, denial, distractions. Or you can listen. You can let it tell its story. Because the moment you listen, it stops being your captor. It becomes your teacher. That is the first step of shadow work, not fixing, not purging, not fighting, just listening. Listen to your anger. Listen to your fear. Listen to the small voice that says, "I just wanted to be loved." And as you listen, something miraculous happens. The same darkness that once terrified you begins to soften. Stops being a monster. It becomes a child reaching for your hand, The light within the darkness. You see, there is no light without darkness. There is no awakening without descent. You cannot meet your higher self if you're still running from your shadow self. Every wound you've ever hidden is a doorway. Every fear is a teacher. And every breakdown is an initiation. The twin flame journey isn't about romance. It's about remembering who you are, whole, divine, complete. And that includes your shadow. So when the darkness speaks, don't turn away. Don't silence it. Hold it. Love it. Because it's the only way to become free. Shadow work begins not with light, but with courage. The courage to see yourself fully. To sit with your pain. To say, I see you. I love you. You are safe now. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into where the shadow comes from, the childhood wounds that created it, and how the twin flame mirror helps you finally bring them home. Until then, listen closely. Your darkness is speaking. Can you hear it? Narration. Every shadow has a beginning. Every fear. Every self-doubt, every wall around your heart, they were born somewhere. Not in this moment. Not because of your twin flame. But long before, when you were small. When you didn't have the words to explain why love suddenly felt unsafe. When you didn't yet know that silence could hurt more than shouting. That's where your shadow began. In the unspoken stories of your inner child. Narration. The child you once were didn't disappear when you grew up. It's still here, deep inside your chest, carrying every tear that was never wiped away, every question that was never answered. And every time your twin flame triggers you, that child wakes up whispering, please don't leave me again. The child who learned to hide. When we were young, love was our entire universe. We trusted completely. We believed that love meant safety, warmth, and belonging. But what happens when the people we trusted the most, parents, caregivers, teachers, were also the ones who made us feel small? Maybe they didn't mean to. Maybe they were wounded too. But a child doesn't understand intentions. A child only feels impact. So when we were scolded for crying, we learned that sadness is dangerous. When we were compared to others, we learned that love must be earned. When we were ignored, we learned that silence equals rejection. And slowly, the child began to hide. We built walls before we could even spell the word boundary. We became caretakers, perfectionists, people pleasers, anything to be loved, anything to avoid abandonment. But in the process, we abandoned ourselves. That is how the shadow is born. Not as evil, but as protection. It's the armor your inner child built to survive a world that didn't know how to hold your heart. The first wound, rejection. Do you remember the first time you felt rejected? Maybe it was when a parent said, you're too sensitive. Or when a friend chose someone else. Or when your love was met with silence. That moment taught you something powerful and painful. That parts of you were too much. So you hid them. You smiled when you wanted to cry. You laughed when you wanted to scream. And now, as an adult, whenever your twin flame pulls away, that buried memory comes alive again. You feel the same ache, the same panic. Not because they are leaving, but because their absence reawakens that old rejection. Your shadow isn't angry because of them. It's angry because it's been silenced for decades. The second wound, abandonment. Abandonment doesn't always look like someone walking away. Sometimes it looks like emotional distance. A parent who was there physically but never truly present. A family that smiled in public but fell silent at the dinner table. For a child, this is unbearable. So we learn to chase, to overgive, overprove, overlove, hoping someone will finally stay. And then one day your twin flame leaves. They ghost you. They go silent. And it feels like the end of the world. But it's not them who are leaving you now. It's your inner child reliving an old memory. Your nervous system doesn't know the difference between now and then. It only knows, I'm being abandoned again. That's why shadow work is so painful. Because healing isn't about the present moment. It's about traveling back in time to rescue the child who still believes they are alone. The third wound, shame. Shame is the most silent wound of all. It's not the belief that I did something wrong. It's the belief that I am wrong. Maybe someone told you, stop crying, you're embarrassing me. Maybe they laughed at your dreams. Maybe they made you feel invisible. And so you built a shadow made of silence. You became afraid to speak your truth. Afraid to shine too bright. afraid to be too different. You learn to shrink, to apologize for existing. Now when your twin flame withdraws or criticizes you, that shadow rises again, whispering, "I'm not worthy of love." But here's the truth you were never told. There was never anything wrong with you. The shame never belonged to you. It was passed down generation to generation, through people who didn't know how to love without control. Twin flames, the sacred replay. When your twin flame enters your life, it's not random. It's divine timing. They come to replay every pattern your soul still needs to heal. They mirror your wound so perfectly that it feels almost cruel. But it's not cruelty. It's divine reflection. If your twin flame runs, they're showing you the part of you that still runs from pain. If they reject you, they mirror your self-rejection. If they don't choose you, they reflect the places where you never chose yourself. It's not punishment. It's remembrance. Because the universe doesn't send your twin flame to complete you. It sends them to reveal where you've forgotten your own wholeness. Healing the inner child. Healing doesn't start with forgiveness. Starts with recognition. With turning toward that small voice inside and saying, "I see you. I know why you're scared. I'm here now." You can write to your inner child. You can imagine sitting beside them, listening without judgment. Ask them, what did you need that no one gave you? What hurt still lingers in your heart? What do you want me to know? And then listen, not with your mind, with your heart. Because that's what healing truly means. Not fixing but feeling. When you give the child inside you permission to cry, the adult you finally learns to breathe. The shadow is a doorway. Every time your shadow rises, every panic, every breakdown, every wave of jealousy, that is not regression. It's resurrection. Your soul is saying, this memory is ready to be healed. This version of you is ready to come home. The shadow isn't blocking your light. It is the path to your light. You cannot ascend without descending first. You cannot embody love without meeting the parts that were denied love. Your twin flame didn't come to break you. They came to show you where you were already broken. Not to destroy you, but to awaken you. So the next time the pain rises, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? Because every wound is an echo of your inner child. And every time you choose to face it, you become the parent, the protector, and the healer you always needed. Have you ever met someone who seems to know you better than you know yourself? Who reflects back not only your beauty and light, but also the parts of you you try to hide? That is the essence of the twin flame journey. It is not a love story made of comfort and ease. It is a mirror, sometimes dazzling, sometimes blinding, that awakens the soul. When a twin flame appears, they hold up a reflection. Not the reflection of your successes, your confidence, or your polished persona, but the reflection of your deepest fears, your hidden wounds, your unhealed shadows. Every suppressed emotion you've carried, anger, jealousy, fear, insecurity, rises to the surface, and it is terrifying. The mirror reveals what you cannot see. A mirror is a simple thing. It reflects what is already in front of it. It does not lie. Your twin flame is like that mirror. They reflect your patterns, your triggers, your unresolved pain. Not to punish you, but to illuminate it. Have you noticed how small arguments suddenly feel monumental? How tiny insecurities explode when they leave the room or speak to someone else? This is not about them. It is your shadow being reflected. The child inside you who still fears abandonment, rejection, or unworthiness. The universe orchestrates these moments with precision. Every conflict, every silent distance, every miscommunication is a reminder. Here lies the part of yourself you have been avoiding. Triggers are the portals to healing. Every emotional trigger your twin flame activates is a doorway. A doorway to the hidden corners of your psyche. A doorway to your shadow self. When jealousy rises, it is not about them having someone else. It is about the insecurity you buried long ago. When anger flares, it is not about what they said or did. It is the echo of a hurted inner child demanding to be heard. When fear grips you, it is not about losing them. It is about the unhealed wounds that have whispered, "You are never safe." Your triggers are not obstacles to love. They are invitations to deepen it, not toward them but toward yourself. Visual. The figure looks in a mirror, seeing a younger self inside, crying silently. They reach out, and the reflection begins to glow softly. Mirroring, reflection, not rejection. One of the most challenging lessons of the twin flame journey is understanding mirroring. Mirroring is not rejection. It is reflection. Your twin flame will show you exactly what you are avoiding in yourself. If you feel unloved, they will appear distant. If you fear betrayal, they will act in ways that trigger that fear. If you struggle with control, they will resist it. It is not about them being cruel or unkind. It is about the universe giving you the gift of self-awareness. Through mirroring, you begin to recognize patterns. You see where fear has been guiding your choices. You notice the ways you have sabotaged intimacy to protect your vulnerability. And slowly, with awareness, those patterns begin to lose their power. The duality of love and shadow. Love and shadow are inseparable. You cannot meet the fullness of love without first meeting the fullness of yourself. Your twin flame relationship intensifies both. This duality can feel overwhelming. Moments of bliss are followed by intense confrontation. Moments of connection are shadowed by fear, doubt, and miscommunication. But this is not a flaw in the relationship. It is the sacred design of the soul's evolution. Every time you feel triggered, it is a test not of your worthiness of their love, but of your willingness to embrace your own. Visual. The two figures walking side by side in a forest, sunlight breaking through trees, their shadows long and intertwined. How to use the mirror. Without getting lost. The mirror is powerful, yes. It can illuminate, but it can also overwhelm. So how do you face it without losing yourself? Witness without blame. See the reflection, but do not attach judgment. I notice my jealousy. I notice my fear. I notice my anger. These are not me failing. They are me asking to be seen. Pause and breathe. When triggers arise, step back. Feel the emotion. Name it. This is fear. This is sadness. This is old pain. Return to self-love. Your twin flame is a reflection, but the one who heals is always you. Comfort your inner child. Hold yourself. Speak to the shadow. You are safe. You are loved. You are enough. Reflect, don't react. Mirrors reveal truth, but they do not demand action. Observe, journal, meditate, but don't lash out or withdraw in fear. Through these practices, the mirror becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. The mirror as a path to wholeness. Your twin flame relationship, intense as it is ultimately about you. It is about waking up to the parts of yourself that have been ignored, denied, or hidden. It is about reclaiming your power, your voice, your love. The mirror shows you everything, the light and the shadow. It asks you to accept both, to embrace both, to integrate both. Only then can love become not a source of fear or dependency, but a reflection of your own completeness. The twin flame mirror awakens the soul by revealing truth. It awakens compassion for your own fears, your own shadows, your own inner child. And in that awakening, you begin to understand. Love is not about fixing someone else. It is about becoming whole yourself. In the next chapter, we will explore how to face your shadow without self-destruction. How to love the darkest parts of yourself while moving through the intensity of twin flame connection. Shadow work is not a gentle journey. It is not a walk in the sunshine with easy laughter. It is a descent into your own depths where all the parts you have hidden, shame, fear, anger, jealousy, grief, rise to be seen. And yet, the question most people ask is, how can I face my shadow without losing myself? The answer begins with presence. The answer begins with courage. The answer begins with love. Not just for others but for yourself. Step 1. Recognize the shadow. The first step is awareness. You cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. Your shadow speaks through emotions, triggers, and repetitive patterns. It shows up as jealousy when your twin flame talks to someone else. It shows up as anger when you feel misunderstood. It shows up as panic when intimacy feels overwhelming. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Which part of me is reacting? Is this my shadow or the present moment? Visual. The figure sits on a log, closes their eyes and breathes deeply, observing the rising emotions. The shadow is always a reflection of unmet needs. It is the voice of your inner child, asking to be heard. When you recognize it without judgment, You are taking the first step toward integration. Step 2. Name the emotion. Naming is powerful. It transforms chaos into clarity. Instead of saying, I am jealous, say, I notice fear of abandonment rising in me. Instead of saying, I am angry, say, I feel the pain of being unseen. By naming the emotion, you create distance from it. You separate yourself from the reactive ego that wants to lash out or shut down. This simple act allows the shadow to move from being a threat to being a guide. It stops being a voice that controls you and becomes a teacher whispering, notice me, heal me, love me. Step 3. Respond with compassion. Once you recognize and name the shadow, respond with compassion. This is crucial. Most of us fight our shadows. We scold, we shame, we suppress. But fighting only strengthens the shadow. Instead, try. I see you. I hear you. You are safe now. I understand why you feel this way. Thank you for protecting me all these years. Visual. The inner child in the visualization begins to smile, small rays of light radiating outward. Your shadow has always been a protector. It became a wall because your inner child needed it to survive. By offering compassion, you are finally giving the love that was missing. Step 4. Create safe space. You cannot face your shadow in a chaotic mind or unsafe environment. Creating a safe space, physical, emotional, and energetic, is essential. Physically, sit in a quiet room or nature free from distractions. Emotionally, set boundaries with your twin flame and others when necessary. Energetically, use grounding exercises, deep breaths, meditation, visualization. Safety allows you to face intense emotions without being overwhelmed. It gives your nervous system permission to relax, even as the shadow surfaces. Step 5. Journal and reflect. Journaling is a bridge between your conscious self and your shadow. Write freely without censorship, without fear of judgment. Ask yourself, what does my shadow want me to know? What fears am I holding on to? How can I nurture the child who is still afraid? Reflection allows patterns to emerge. You may notice recurring themes: abandonment, rejection, unworthiness. Awareness is the first step to breaking cycles. Step 6. Embrace the shadow through energy practice. Shadow work is not just mental, it is energetic. Your body stores unhealed emotions as tension, discomfort, or illness. Try these practices. Breath into the shadow. Visualize inhaling light into the area where the shadow resides. Exhale tension and fear. Heart-centered meditation. Place your hands on your heart. Imagine your shadow as a small, scared being. Send love to it. Mirror affirmation. Look into a mirror. Say, I love you, all of you. I accept you. These exercises help integrate shadow energy into your consciousness. You transform fear and pain into love and awareness. Step 7. Use the twin flame mirror consciously. Your twin flame is a reflection, not a trigger. It is easy to get lost in the intensity, to blame, react, or withdraw. Instead, use their reflection consciously. Notice which triggers are yours, not theirs. Ask yourself, what part of me is reacting? Respond with awareness, not knee-jerk emotion. By doing this, the mirror becomes a tool for healing, not a source of chaos. Step 8. Practice integration daily. Shadow work is ongoing. It is not a single session or a one-time breakthrough. Integration comes from daily practice. Observe your emotions throughout the day. Journal recurring patterns. Send love to your inner child. Ground your energy when triggered. Set boundaries with love and clarity. With consistency, the shadow becomes less threatening and more familiar. You no longer fear the darkness. You walk with it, holding its hand. Ending voiceover, CTA, and inspiration. Facing your shadow is not easy. It is messy, emotional, and sometimes painful. But it is also sacred. Every trigger from your twin flame, every flash of anger, every wave of fear is an opportunity to reclaim yourself. To love the parts of you that have been silenced. To finally become whole. So today, take a moment to sit with your shadow. Listen without judgment. Name it, feel it, embrace it. And remember, you are not alone. You are safe. You are loved. And every shadow you heal brings you closer to the light within. We have spoken of shadows, of triggers of pain, of the inner child calling from deep within. We have learned to recognize the reflection, to face the darkness without being consumed. Now comes the most profound step, to love the darkness within. Visual. A figure sits cross-legged by the lake, eyes closed, hands resting on knees. Small glowing orbs float around them, symbolizing awareness of inner shadows. This is not about pretending the pain doesn't exist. It is not about forcing happiness or masking fear with smiles. It is about embracing all parts of yourself, the light and the dark, the wounded and the whole. Because only by loving the darkness can you become truly free. Why loving the darkness matters. Your shadow is not a mistake. It is not evil or shameful. It is a vital part of your wholeness. Every fear, every insecurity, every suppressed emotion carries wisdom. Every wound holds a lesson. Every darkness is a doorway. When you resist the shadow, it grows louder. When you judge it, it hides deeper. But when you love it, you integrate it. You transform it from a source of pain into a source of strength. Loving your darkness is how you reclaim your power. It is how you show your inner child that they are not just surviving, they are thriving. Step 1. Recognize the parts of you that you've rejected. The first step is acknowledgement. Take a deep breath and ask, what parts of myself have I hidden or rejected? Which emotions, thoughts, or memories make me feel ashamed? These may include fear of abandonment, jealousy or envy, anger and resentment, insecurity or self-doubt, past trauma or unhealed wounds. Naming these parts is not self-criticism. It is recognition. It is saying, I see you. You are part of me. Step 2. Practice self-compassion. Once recognized, respond with compassion. Instead of suppressing your fear, say, I feel you, little one. You have been carrying this pain for a long time. You are safe now. Instead of shaming your anger, say, I see you. You protected me. Thank you for warning me. Compassion is the bridge between fear and love. It allows the shadow to move from resisting you to coexisting with you. It transforms the shadow from a burden into a teacher. Step 3. Visualization. Embracing your inner child. Your inner child carries much of your shadow. Visualizing them can be a powerful way to integrate darkness with love. Close your eyes and take a deep grounding breath. Imagine your inner child, the one who is scared, hurt, or rejected. Approach them with open arms, offering warmth, safety, and love. Say to them, I am here. I see you. You are not alone. Hold them close. Let them cry, laugh, or simply exist. This practice reminds you, the parts of you you have feared the most are actually waiting for love, not rejection. Step 4. Affirmations for shadow integration. Affirmations are words that reshape your inner landscape. Speak them daily to cultivate love for your shadow. I love all parts of myself, even the parts one once feared. My shadow holds wisdom and I honor it. I am whole, even with darkness inside me. I embrace my fears, for they are the doorway to my growth. I nurture my inner child with love and patience. These words plant seeds of self-love and acceptance. With repetition, they rewrite the narrative of fear and shame. Step 5. Embrace the twin flame reflection. Your twin flame is the ultimate reflection. They show you where love is blocked, where fear lingers, and where your shadow hides. Instead of resisting the reflection, ask, what is this trigger trying to teach me? How can I love this part of myself that is reacting? By embracing your shadow, you can engage with your twin flame consciously. You are no longer reacting from fear. You are responding from love. Step 6. Daily practices to love your darkness. Consistency transforms shadow work from theory into lived experience. Here are daily practices to cultivate love for your darkness. Morning reflection. Spend 5 to 10 minutes acknowledging your emotions and offering them love. Journaling. Write about triggers, shadows, and insights with compassion. Meditation. Visualize your inner child in shadow, sending warmth and safety. Movement. Dance, stretch, or walk. Allow your body to release trapped energy. Affirmations. Speak your shadow love aloud, integrating it into your daily mindset. These practices remind you daily, your darkness is not your enemy. It is a source of wisdom, strength, and spiritual awakening. Step 7. Embracing the light and dark together. Integration means balance. Loving your shadow does not mean ignoring your light. It means holding both, acknowledging your pain while celebrating your joy, your fears while embracing your courage, your wounds while honoring your strength. The darkness you fear becomes a companion. The light you cherish becomes more radiant. You become whole, undivided, complete. To love your shadow is to reclaim yourself. It is to see the inner child, to hold them tenderly, and to honor every part of your story. Every fear, every trigger, every moment of pain is an opportunity to practice love. To love your darkness is to love your soul. Start today. Sit with your shadow. Speak to your inner child. Embrace what you have feared, because in loving the darkness, you discover your light. You discover your wholeness, and you awaken to the infinite love that resides within you, waiting, always to be claimed. In the journey of twin flames, the shadow is inevitable. It rises uninvited, to remind you of what you have left unhealed. It whispers fears, awakens insecurities, and stirs emotions you thought were buried. But there is a greater truth. The shadow is inseparable from the light. One cannot exist without the other. They are two sides of the same coin, intertwined, inseparable, sacred. Visual. A close-up of the figure looking into a pool of water. Their reflection shimmers half in sunlight, half in shadow. The sacred union of light and shadow is not just a concept. It is a lived experience, one that your twin flame relationship mirrors, magnifies, and ultimately heals. The mirror of twin flame. Connection. Your twin flame is a mirror of your soul. They reflect your light, your joy, your love, your compassion. They also reflect your shadow, your fears, your insecurities, your unresolved pain. This reflection is not a punishment. It is a sacred invitation, an opportunity to integrate what has long been denied. Every argument, every emotional trigger, every moment of jealousy or fear is a doorway. It asks, will you love yourself even here? Will you embrace both your darkness and your light? The twin flame mirror amplifies both extremes. Bliss becomes euphoric, pain becomes intense, but both serve a purpose, awakening the deeper self. Step 1. Recognize the duality. The first step towards sacred union is recognition. You must consciously see the duality within yourself. The part that fears being unworthy, the part that craves connection, the part that judges and criticizes, the part that loves unconditionally. Recognition is not judgment. It is a gentle acknowledgement. I am both fear and courage, pain and joy, shadow and light. I am whole. Your twin flame relationship will continually test this awareness. When you react from fear, the mirror shows it. When you respond from love, the mirror amplifies it. Step 2. Embrace energy integration. Shadow and light are energetic. They are not only psychological states but vibrations that exist in your body, mind, and soul. To integrate them, breathe into your shadow. Visualize inhaling the darkness, then exhaling love and light. Heart-centered meditation. Imagine a glowing sphere in your chest. Let both your shadow and your light merge into it. Movement and embodiment. Dance, stretch, or walk mindfully, allowing energy to flow freely between shadow and light. Mirror practice. Stand before a mirror, acknowledge your shadow and light, and say aloud, I embrace you, all of you. You are part of my wholeness. Integration transforms emotional reactivity into emotional mastery. You no longer fear the intensity of your feelings. You use them as guidance, wisdom, and energy for growth. Step 3. Hold love and shadow simultaneously. The sacred union requires holding love and shadow simultaneously. When jealousy arises, recognize it without blaming your twin flame. When fear emerges, feel it without fleeing or suppressing it. When anger or resentment surfaces, allow it without judgment, then transform it with compassion. This is the alchemy of twin flames, turning shadow into love without losing yourself. It is not easy. It requires patience, courage, and daily practice. But each attempt deepens self-awareness, self-love, and the sacred bond. Step 4. Practical exercises for union. Exercise 1. Journaling for integration. Write down Triggers from your twin flame interactions. Identify which are shadow-based. Reflect on how you can respond with compassion and love. Exercise 2. Visualization of integration. Close your eyes. Imagine a dark cloud inside you, your shadow. Bring a warm light from your heart to merge with it. Watch darkness transform into a glowing spectrum, blending with your light. Exercise 3. Twin flame reflection practice. During conflict or emotional intensity, pause. Ask silently, what part of me is reacting? Send love to your shadow. Respond with awareness, not reactivity. Daily practice ensures the sacred union is embodied, not theoretical. Step 5. The power of embracing wholeness. When you embrace both your shadow and light, you experience freedom from fear and insecurity. You respond to your twin flame from presence, not reactivity. You cultivate unconditional love, first for yourself, then naturally extending to your twin flame. You awaken your soul to higher consciousness. The union of light and shadow is the ultimate alchemy of twin flame relationships. It is where love is no longer dependent on perfection, but on wholeness. It is where every trigger becomes a teacher, every emotion a guide, and every shadow a doorway to awakening. The sacred union of light and shadow is the heart of your twin flame journey. It asks for courage, presence, and love, but the rewards are infinite. Begin today. Notice your shadow. Breathe into it. Send it love. Merge it with your light. Your twin flame is a mirror, showing both your brilliance and your wounds. By embracing both, you step into wholeness, clarity, and profound love. You become a living testament that light and shadow can coexist, beautifully, powerfully, and eternally. Healing the shadow is not a solitary act. It is a journey that calls for connection, compassion, and conscious presence. Your twin flame is not just a mirror. They are also a catalyst, a co-traveler on your path toward wholeness. Through them, the deepest parts of your shadow arise. Through them, the highest parts of your love awaken. Visual. Two figures pause on the riverbank, looking at each other with quiet recognition. The sun illuminates the space between them. Connection and compassion are not about perfection. They are about presence, acknowledgement, and the courage to love both yourself and the parts of you that have long been hidden. The power of presence. The first element of healing through connection is presence. Presence means observing, without judgment. Presence means listening without needing to fix or control. In the twin flame journey, triggers arise constantly. A word that hurts, a gesture that feels distant, a memory or insecurity that surfaces. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause. Breathe. Notice what is occurring inside you. Presence transforms reactivity into insight. It allows the shadow to be seen, heard, and understood. It is the first step toward compassion. Step 1. Acknowledge the shadow in relationship. Your twin flame brings your shadow to the surface, but this is not a reason for conflict. It is an invitation to acknowledge and heal. Ask yourself, which emotions are mine and which are projections? What part of my shadow is rising in this moment? How can I respond with understanding, rather than blame? Acknowledging your shadow in the context of relationship shifts the energy from blame to responsibility. You see your emotional reactions as messages from your inner self, not as attacks from the other. Step 2. Practice compassionate listening. Healing is reciprocal. Just as your shadow needs recognition, so does your twin flame. Compassionate listening is the act of holding space for another's experience without judgment, interruption, or advice. Sit quietly together. One speaks, one listens. The listener focuses entirely on the speaker, noticing words, tone, and energy. Respond only with acknowledgement. I hear you. I see your pain. You are not alone. Compassionate listening creates a safe environment for shadows to surface, transforms vulnerability into healing energy. Step 3. Forgiveness as a healing tool. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful actions. It is about releasing the grip of resentment and fear that keeps your shadow alive. Ask yourself, what do I need to forgive in myself, in my twin flame, or in others? How is holding on to resentment feeding my shadow? Visual. One figure imagines the other, sending waves of warm light to them while whispering forgiveness silently. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. It clears space in your heart for love, understanding, and shadow integration. Step 4. Embracing emotional vulnerability. Shadow healing requires vulnerability. It is not weakness, it is courage. Allow yourself to feel fully. Tears, anger, or fear are valid. Joy, love, and connection are equally valid. Expressing emotions consciously prevents them from being buried and creating unconscious patterns. Vulnerability fosters intimacy. It allows both light and shadow to coexist openly in your relationship. Step 5. Energy practices for healing together. Healing energy practices deepen connection and integration. Heart-to-heart meditation. Visualize light flowing from your heart to your twin flame's heart. Imagine this light transforming fear, anger, and pain into love. Breath synchronization. Sit together and breathe in harmony. With each inhale, imagine drawing in shared healing energy. With each exhale, release shadows and tension. Mutual shadow acknowledgement. Verbally name a shadow pattern you observe in yourself. Invite your twin flame to do the same. Witness without judgment, allowing empathy to flow. These practices reinforce the sacred truth. Your connection is a conduit for healing, for both shadow and light. Step 6. Daily connection habits. Consistency matters. Small, daily acts of connection and compassion accumulate into profound transformation. Check in emotionally with your twin flame each morning. Practice reflective journaling together once a week. Send loving energy during moments apart. Celebrate small victories of emotional awareness and integration. Offer forgiveness quickly instead of storing resentment. Daily connection transforms shadow energy into conscious love, turning potential conflict into growth. Step 7. Healing is a continuous journey. Healing through connection and compassion is not a one-time achievement. It is ongoing, unfolding over days, months, and years. Your shadows will surface again, and your light will shine brighter. Your twin flame will continue to reflect what you need to see. And every time you respond with presence, compassion, and love, your integration deepens. Through conscious connection, the sacred union of shadow and light becomes real. Through compassion, you awaken to the infinite capacity of love. The journey of healing through connection and compassion is sacred. It asks for patience, courage, and open-heartedness. Today, choose presence. Today, acknowledge your shadow. Today, listen without judgment. Today, forgive. Today, open your heart to vulnerability. Through these acts, you transform your twin flame connection into a sacred space of integration. You awaken yourself, your relationship, and your soul. And you remember, the light you nurture within and the shadows you embrace are inseparable. They are the true essence of your being. Old patterns are the chains we inherit from childhood, past relationships, and even ancestral lineage. They whisper in our minds fear, doubt, jealousy, and mistrust. They shape our reactions, our desires, and the way we love. Yet, awakening true love requires more than healing the shadow. It requires transcending these patterns. It requires stepping beyond habitual reactions into conscious, unconditional connection. Every step in awareness is a step toward liberation. Every breath taken with presence dissolves the grip of the past. And every act of conscious love awakens the soul, yours and your twin flames. The hold of old patterns. Old patterns are often invisible. They appear as repeated arguments in relationships, persistent fears of abandonment, compulsive need for validation, emotional triggers from past trauma. These patterns feel automatic because they are unconscious. The mind repeats them to protect. The heart repeats them to avoid pain. The soul repeats them to teach lessons. To awaken true love, you must recognize these patterns, not with shame but with curiosity. What am I repeating from the past? Where is my fear steering my emotions? How can I respond differently this time? Awareness is the first key to transcendence. Step 1. Observe without judgment. Observation is different from analysis or criticism. It is quiet, objective witnessing. Notice the emotion that arises. Identify the trigger. Recognize the habitual reaction. This practice creates space between stimulus and reaction. It allows choice rather than habit to guide your response. Step 2. Release through energy practices. Energy practices are crucial to release deeply ingrained patterns. Breath release. Inhale deeply, sensing tension in the body. Exhale fully, imagining old patterns dissolving like smoke into the sky. Visualization of letting go. Picture past pain, fear, or anger as heavy stones in your hands. Slowly place them on the ground. Watch them transform into light that disperses into the universe. Movement and embodiment. Dance, stretch, or walk mindfully. Let the body release residual tension and emotional blocks. Releasing old patterns clears space for conscious love to emerge. Step 3. Integrating shadow with love. Transcendence is not about eradicating the shadow. It is about integration. Acknowledge fear, anger, and insecurity as part of your humanity. Offer these emotions love and compassion. Allow them to coexist with your capacity for trust, joy, and openness. Integration transforms reactive patterns into conscious choice. It allows you to respond from love rather than fear. Step 4. Practical exercises for conscious love. Exercise 1. Journaling awareness. Track emotional triggers in your twin flame relationship. Identify patterns and habitual responses. Reflect on alternative, conscious responses rooted in love. Exercise 2. Heart-to-heart communication. Share insights with your twin flame without blame or expectation. Express feelings honestly, and listen with empathy. Witness their shadows without judgment. Exercise 3. Daily affirmations for love and freedom. I release old patterns and respond from love. My heart is open, free, and present. I integrate shadow and light into conscious love. I choose connection over conflict. I awaken true love through presence and compassion. Daily commitment strengthens conscious love and dissolves repetitive cycles. Step 5. Embracing the sacredness of connection. Connection in its highest form is sacred. It honors both the individual and the union. Trust that each trigger is an invitation to growth. Celebrate moments of conscious choice. Witness vulnerability as strength. Allow love to flow without expectation or attachment. Through conscious connection, old patterns lose their power. Love awakens in its purest form. Unconditional, present, and whole. Step 6. Embracing patience and grace. Transcending patterns is not instant. It requires patience with yourself, with your twin flame, and with life. Mistakes will arise. Triggers will surface. Old fears may return. When they do, breathe, observe, and release. Practice compassion toward yourself and your twin flame. Recognize progress, not perfection. Grace is the bridge between effort and surrender. It allows transformation to unfold naturally, without force or resistance. Step 7. Awakening true love. Awakening true love is the culmination of shadow work, integration, and transcending old patterns. It is love that is conscious, not reactive. Connection that honors individuality and union. Compassion that heals rather than wounds. Courage that chooses presence over fear. This love is not dependent on perfection, circumstances, or external validation. It is the love that arises when two souls meet in wholeness, healed, conscious, and fully awake. Transcending old patterns is the key to awakening true love. It is a journey of awareness, release, integration, and conscious choice. Today, begin the journey. Notice your habitual patterns. Release what no longer serves you. Integrate shadow and light. Respond from love, presence, and compassion. Pause, music swells softly. Through this path, you awaken to a love that is authentic, transformative, and eternal. A love that honors both your soul and your twin flame. A love that is whole. A love that is free. Wholeness is not a destination. It is a living state. It is the embodiment of all that you have healed, integrated, and transformed. In the twin flame journey, conscious union is the reflection of your inner wholeness. A dance between shadow, light, love, and awareness. To embody wholeness is to recognize that nothing within you is separate. Your fears, your joys, your insecurities, and your strengths all coexist. And the way you show up with your twin flame mirrors that inner reality. The principle of conscious union. Conscious union is not attachment, neediness, or codependence. It is connection rooted in presence, awareness, and unconditional love. Presence. You are fully in each moment, with yourself and your twin flame. Awareness. You recognize triggers, shadows, and projections and respond consciously. Love. You allow both yourself and your twin flame to exist fully, without judgment or control. Through conscious union, the relationship becomes a sacred laboratory of growth. Each emotion, each challenge, and each moment of joy is an opportunity to embody wholeness. Step 1. Embracing full integration. Wholeness is integration. It is the synthesis of your shadow and your light into a harmonious whole. Acknowledge the shadow, fear, anger, jealousy, pain, doubt. Acknowledge the light, love, joy, courage, compassion, creativity. Allow both to coexist without suppression, denial, or judgment. Integration is transformative. It allows you to respond to your twin flame from clarity, rather than reactivity. It transforms old patterns into conscious choice and love. Step 2. Energy balance in relationship. Energy is the foundation of conscious union. When your energy is unbalanced, your connection reflects tension, miscommunication, or emotional reactivity. To maintain balance. Grounding. Spend time connecting with your body, nature, or breath. Anchor yourself in the present. Heart-centered focus. Align your energy with love and compassion, allowing it to radiate outward. Energy sharing. Consciously exchange energy with your twin flame during meditation or shared moments. Releasing old patterns. Let go of resentment, fear, and projections before they accumulate. Balanced energy sustains connection, intimacy, and emotional harmony. Step 3. Mindful communication. Speak your truth with clarity and love. Listen deeply without interrupting, judging, or planning your response. Acknowledge your twin flame's shadow and light without attempting to fix them. Share your triggers and patterns openly, inviting empathy and understanding. Mindful communication transforms conflicts into opportunities for growth. It transforms misinterpretations into insight, and challenges into sacred moments of connection. Step 4. Embracing sacred vulnerability. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the bridge between wholeness and deep connection. It allows both shadow and light to coexist openly. Share your fears without fear of rejection. Express your joys without fear of judgment. Allow tears, laughter, and silence to coexist naturally. Sacred vulnerability fosters intimacy. It allows the twin flame connection to become a safe space for full expression of the soul. Step 5. Daily practices for embodying wholeness. Practice 1. Morning grounding ritual. Stand barefoot on the earth, breathe deeply, set intentions for presence and love. Practice 2. Heart-to-heart meditation. Visualize light flowing from your heart to your twin flame's heart, integrating shadows and light into radiant energy. Practice 3. Shadow acknowledgement journaling. Record triggers, insights, and emotional patterns. Reflect on conscious responses. Practice 4. Evening gratitude and reflection. Acknowledge the day's moments of presence, love, and conscious choice. Release residual tension, fear, or projections before sleep. Consistency turns integration from theory into living embodiment. Step 6. Celebrating unity in diversity. Wholeness honors both individuality and union. Recognize that your twin flame is a unique soul with their own shadows and light. Celebrate differences as opportunities for growth, not as challenges. Allow space for independent growth while nurturing deep connection. Unity is not sameness. It is harmony, a symphony of two whole conscious beings reflecting light and shadow into each other's lives. Step 7. The freedom of embodied love. Embodying wholeness releases old limitations. It frees you from fear, attachment, and reactive patterns. It awakens true love, conscious, compassionate, and unwavering. Through this embodiment, your twin flame connection becomes sacred. Your love becomes a living expression of soul integration, energy mastery, and authentic presence. Embodying wholeness and conscious union is the culmination of your journey. It requires presence, awareness, compassion, and courage. Today, begin embodying your wholeness. Integrate your shadow and light. Maintain conscious energy balance. Communicate mindfully and vulnerably. Celebrate the uniqueness of both yourself and your twin flame. Through these practices, you awaken true love, deepen your connection, and honor the sacred dance of shadow and light. You become a living testament to conscious union, whole, free, and radiant. You have walked the journey of shadow and light. You have faced the deepest fears, healed the wounds of your past, and transcended old patterns. Now the horizon calls you toward ultimate integration, a space where love is conscious, union is sacred, and your twin flame relationship becomes a living embodiment of your soul's highest potential. Ascension is not a distant goal. It is a continuous process of embodying wholeness while remaining fully present. It is the art of rising above old limitations, while fully honoring the depth and complexity of your shared journey. The essence of twin flame ascension. Ascension in a twin flame connection is the merging of two conscious souls, each fully integrated with their shadow and light. It is not about perfection, dependency, or losing individuality. It is about conscious presence in every moment, unwavering love for self and other, recognition and integration of shadow without judgment, harmonious energy flow between two sovereign beings. Ascension is the realization that your union is a mirror and a bridge, a reflection of divine wholeness, and a path to the highest expression of love. Step 1. Sustaining energy alignment. Sustaining conscious energy is crucial for ultimate integration. Daily heart-centered meditation. Visualize a radiant golden light flowing from your heart into your twin flame's heart. Feel the exchange of healing, compassion, and love. Energetic grounding. Connect with the earth or water element to anchor yourself. Release excess emotional energy, fears, and lingering projections. Protecting energy boundaries. Honor personal space and individual energy fields. Recognize when external influences disturb your connection and consciously restore balance. When energy is aligned, both light and shadow flow harmoniously, creating a foundation for ascension. Step 2. Embracing the sacred union of shadow and light. Ultimate integration requires loving the shadow as much as the light in yourself and your twin flame. Own your shadow. Recognize fear, jealousy, doubt, and old wounds. Do not suppress or project them. Honor their shadow. Allow your twin flame to express their vulnerabilities without judgment or control. Merge energies mindfully. Accept that shadow energy may surface in moments of tension, but it is an invitation to deeper understanding. Integration transforms challenges into sacred moments of connection, turning old wounds into bridges of empathy and growth. Step 3. Conscious love in action. True ascension is measured not by spiritual knowledge alone, but by the embodiment of conscious love. Active compassion. Respond to your twin flame with empathy, patience, and understanding, even during triggers. Mutual growth support. Encourage each other's self-development, dreams, and healing journey. Celebrate growth without envy or attachment. Joyful presence. Engage in shared moments of laughter, play, and gratitude. Remember that love is expressed in everyday actions, not just in profound realizations. Conscious love transforms ordinary experiences into spiritual practice. It ensures that ascension is lived, not theorized. Step 4. Transcending time and space. In ultimate integration, the twin flame connection transcends external limitations. Past wounds lose their grip. Future anxieties dissolve in the present moment. Each shared breath becomes sacred, timeless, and eternal. Transcendence is the recognition that your love is not bound by circumstance, distance, or ego. It is anchored in the eternal now, a space where wholeness and union exist in perfect harmony. Step 5. Daily practices for ascending together. Practice 1. Morning union ritual. Synchronize breath with your twin flame. Set an intention for love, conscious connection, and presence. Practice 2. Shadow acknowledgement exercise. Share emerging fears or triggers openly. Offer acknowledgement and compassionate reflection. Practice 3. Heart-to-heart energy exchange. Visualize energy flowing freely between hearts. Allow light and shadow to balance harmoniously. Practice 4. Gratitude and reflection. Before sleep, acknowledge moments of conscious love and integration. Release residual tension, fear, or projection. Consistency transforms twin flame ascension from theory into lived reality. Step 6. Celebrating wholeness and sacred union. Ascension culminates in the celebration of wholeness. Celebrate your growth and integration. Celebrate the authenticity and sovereignty of your twin flame. Celebrate the divine reflection of love that you share. The celebration is not external, it is internal. It is the recognition that the union is sacred, conscious, and eternal. Step 7. Living the ascended twin flame connection. Living the ascended connection means responding from love rather than fear, maintaining energetic balance and integrity, practicing conscious communication and vulnerability, recognizing every moment as an opportunity to integrate shadow and light. This is the ultimate embodiment of twin flame integration. A love that is conscious, expansive, and free. You have journeyed through shadow, faced old wounds, integrated patterns, and awakened conscious love. Now you step into ascension, a state of wholeness, presence, and sacred union. Today embody this truth. Merge shadow and light within and with your twin flame. Respond with conscious love in every interaction. Maintain energetic balance and sovereignty. Celebrate the sacred connection that transcends time and space. Through this journey, your twin flame connection becomes a living testament to conscious union. It is love in its purest form, free, integrated, radiant, and eternal. Ascend together. Embody wholeness. Live the love you were always destined to share.